Hi and welcome to another Naturevape review. Sorry about the angle of the camera, but I had quite a few requests to show how do I set up the EHPro, coiling, wicking, and basically from A to Z. So I decided, since my coil needs replacing now, and this is roughly after 3 weeks of using the coil. Obviously I re-wicked a few times in the meantime. But I said I'll do it on camera, so hopefully if anyone needs to know how to set up the EHPro True Tank, here we go. So let me just re-angle the camera a bit better and we'll get stuck right in. Okay. So the tools, what we need is really start off with a tweezer to take out the old cotton. And well, normally I will take it out very gently because I don't want to ruin the coil. But as we want to change the coil in any case, so I'm not going to be so careful. Now we need a screwdriver, or you could use one that has been supplied with most kits. But I like this one because it's just a bit better. This I got with K-Fon Prime, and I use this all the time, so this is a very good one. So what you do is you open up the post on either sides. Now what I suggest is to open it fairly open, because it's a very small deck, so you want some room for the coil to get in. So this is the old coil gone. Now you take another coil. I'm using this one here. It's a 1.117 ohm, and the problem with these, it's not a problem, but they come normally legs more or less parallel to each other. So this is the second tool. It's the coil tool, and this also. So this is a 2.5 mil. And what I do is I add a twist another half twist, so I can get the coils mounted properly. So what I'm ended up is with a coil looking this way. Yep. Now some decks you don't have to do that because they're parallel to each other, the posts, but here's the opposite each other. So what we want to do is now is to mount the coil in, and the best thing to do it is to put your finger on the center. So now it is really in but not secure, and now I just tighten a bit the post, so like this I can get the hang of the position, just to give it a bit of security. Here we go. So you can see the way it is mounted, and I just close the post more or less. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure that this is central. So what you do is you put in your coil adjuster, and you want it to be as near as possible to the air hole on the bottom, on the base of the deck. So what you get is a few inches, few millimeters between the hole underneath to the coil. I think that's as good, and it should not touch the post on either side. It should be central. I think at the moment it's perfect central. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure it properly now. That's it. So now it's fully secured, but now the coil is moved out of place a bit, so you just simply center it again. No, I think it needs a bit more to the right. Just a bit more to the right and lowered. A bit more lowered. Yep, this is perfect. See, that's the way it should be. So it's not touching the post on either side, and it's just the right height. Okay, so now what we need is the second tool, is the wire cutter. Cut it right up to the deck, so you don't get a short. And the other side as well. Actually, I didn't cut it right because I see a bit of strangling wire. And over here the same way. Yeah, it looks perfect. Now we'll bed it in. Let me just make sure it's in the right. No, I see that. See, sometimes with these fused wires, you get strangling pieces of the wire itself when you cut the edge. So the secret to do that is really to grab onto the thing and just cut it in one go, not to pull. So you just cut it, and I think I pulled it a bit so it came apart, but I'll just do this quickly. That's it, done. Okay, now we'll just bed it in. Let me switch on the mod, and it's coming up as 1.11. This was 1.17, but we'll see when we put in the okay, we want to make sure there's no hot spots. Oh yeah, it's glowing from inside out. Perfect. It's burning off the e-liquid that I had previously there because I didn't clean the deck. As you saw, I just took out the cotton. Normally I do clean the deck, but this time I didn't. Now we need the cotton, so I take a bit of my Japanese Muji. So roughly you have to work it out. Roughly it's a 2.5 mil. So I will say, yeah, this size roughly. That's it. And I just take off the outer peels of the cotton. I don't know why. People say you should do that. And I roll it in to, it should be easier to coil. And pinch and twist. Let's make sure the coil is not hot. Get the cotton in. Okay. And pull. To be honest, this is a bit too loose. I could use it, but it's a bit too loose. But I'm going to take another piece of cotton. They come as cheap as anything, and I've got tons of it. So this happens to me sometimes, I'll be honest. I cut it a bit too small. And the cotton has to have some kind of resistance when it gets in, otherwise you will get it spits, and you know, it starts. You get this no hot spot. It doesn't. You won't get a dry hit, but you will get this jump. It makes noises like crackling noises. Yeah, I think this is better now. Twist and turn again. Let's twist it a bit more. Yeah, this is much better. You see, there is some kind of resistance. This is a lot better. So what I tend to do, I put my finger on top of the coil to hold it in place, and I just, that's it, perfect. Now, in order to get the right length on the EHPro, what you need to do is you have to cut it by the end, by the black O-ring on the base. So what I do is I bend the coil to the O-ring, so I get a dent, and then I just simply cut it there. That's it. Same this side, so I get an idea of where to cut it. That's it. Now, in order to know for sure that you got it right, you just bend it, and if it reaches the top of the deck, just below the rim, if you can see the rim in here, because the cotton just hangs down and absorbs the liquid that's below on this rim here, this rim. So you cut it. This is a bit too long, for instance. This is a bit too long, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this very little bit. You know what, let me fluff it first and then we'll see. You give it a fluff, otherwise you don't want to get knots in it. Go. Now, we don't want too much cotton on either side, so what I do is, some people like combing it out with tweezers, but what I do is I don't actually think it's too thick on this side. Maybe I'll just cut it just a little bit. I'll cut it just a little bit. So what I do is I cut it here in the sides, just to get off a bit of the cotton off, and the same on the other side. You want to have enough cotton, but not too much cotton. That's it. And now I simply bed it in. That's it. Now, if you see over here that the cotton reaches just below this level here, and the same other side. Just tidy it up, and soon I'm gonna give it a bit of juice just to tidy it up even further. Now what I'm doing is simply tidying this up. They should fit nicely on the sides without actually hanging on. There's like a little dent in the deck for the cotton. Now I always advise to put in your tool on the side between the cotton and the deck itself, just to make sure there's enough room. It's not overly stuffed. So what you get is cotton hanging on either side and reaching just below the black O-ring. So that's a very good guide on how to cut the cotton. Okay, now I'm gonna take an e-juice called Blackfire from Best Sig Liquid. Now I'm not sure if this will be uploaded before my review on this e-liquid or after. So either way, there will be a review on this e-liquid. I quite like this e-liquid. I can give you a ready heads up. Okay, and now since it's in such a bottle, I have got a, oh, where's my syringe? I forgot to bring the syringe for it, because this bottle needs a syringe. I can't just pour it down. So give me a second and I will get the syringe. I left it, most probably in the other office. 1 minute, 2 seconds. 1 minute. Sorry about that. Okay, so now we'll take a bit of e-juice. And moisten the coil. Not a lot, just a very little bit, just to give it a head start. Now what I tend to do is, after I put on the liquid, I just tidy up the cotton. Same other side, just to make sure that the cotton is in the right place and nicely tucked in. See, even my reading glasses, I need to yep, okay, so that's what it is. Now it's moistened and it's ready to go nearly. Let's give it a bit more. Obviously, when I do it off camera, I do it faster. I just wanted to make sure that you get all. Now what you do is you take this already clean from the previous. This glass comes apart so you can clean everything perfect. And you just mount it on top. Now when you screw this on, you want to make sure that there's no cotton caught. So you do anti-clockwise a few times and then you do clockwise. Now what's left to do is simply to fill up the tank. So let's see how much juice goes in here. So I'm going to fill up 2 ml and hopefully this is correct. And that's what we're doing now, fill up the tank. And exactly 2 ml. Actually, I can put in a bit more even. Okay, this is basically it. Let me just get the camera back up, a bit better angle, see. Right, so this is more or less done. Coil build, new wick, new liquid. Let's give it a vape. Delicious juice. Wait for, either you watched my review on this one. This is the Black Fire from Bessig liquid, or you will watch it. I'm not sure when it's going to be uploaded, but perfect. And that's how to set up your EHPro from start to finish. Enjoy your vape, have a nice day. I hope this review was helpful. Until the next time, bye bye for now.